Hi and welcome back. This is video number 1 of the series of reassembling the engine on the 1985 metallic gray Corvette. We got the heads on and the push rods and rockers back in. The new head gasket seals are in, and we're going to be setting up some items for video number 2. This covers everything in reassembling the heads back on the engine, and enjoy. And if you would, smash that like button. It really does help the channel. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. And if you want to be notified of upcoming videos when they come out, click on that notification icon and you'll be notified of new videos when we post them. Thank you. Alright, today is the start of part 1, reassembly. We're going to be reassembling the 1985 5.7 liter L98 engine, and we have our new head bolts here, along with these right there. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to clean out the thread holes to make sure that they're good on both sides. We're going to give it one last vacuum, and then we're going to start dabbing pre-lube on certain things when we get to it. But this morning, I'm going to try and get both heads on with the new gaskets and torque down. We have the service manual to help us with that, and it has the torque specs and a whole bunch of things, and I would strongly suggest you get this manual. We have the new gasket kit. These are all the gaskets that I'm planning on using today. If I get to them, we have the plenum down tubes and plenum tubes. We have the intake manifold gaskets. We have, that goes here, the exhaust gaskets, and the thermostat gasket, so we can get that done. Different bags of items here. Yeah, that's what I'm after in this manual, because it's just easy to find. It's the same pattern that I use to take the heads off. And I don't know, my serial number, of course, it's matching, so this is a matching motor and tranny. And I think we're ready to get going. So give me a second here and we'll start. I'm going to start on the passenger side and we're going to go from there. So we have the new head gasket in place, and we got the passenger head on. It's pretty seated. We're going to be doing the bolts here in a second and getting those going. And we'll get those tightened up. We're going to be doing them in 3 stages, of course. Okay, so we have some bolt assembly lubricant that came with the new bolts. I have the new bolts with their washers laid out for me so that they replicate the same as the old bolts. And the reason we're changing the bolts is sometimes they stretch over time. These new bolts need a washer that has a chamfer on one side and are flat on the other. The chamfer needs to go towards the bolt head according to the instructions. Right here. So we're going to start using this, and we're going to use that pattern that I've snapped there so I can follow it. And we'll get this going. I'll get them all seated first, and then I'll get them all going in. And we'll be torquing these bolts down to 65. We're going to try and do it in 3 stages. I'm just putting them in right now to make sure that they go in and start. I don't have to have them seat right now. I just want to make sure that they start and go in, and I'm not tightening them down. So I'm just placing the bolts in. I'm not tightening them down. So we have all the bolts in. I'm just going to seat them. That means I'm not going to tighten them down. I'm just going to make sure they go in. 16, 17. So we're going to start off at 25. Start off with 25. And we're going to start on the center with a number 1. Okay. And 17. All right. So now we're going to go to 45, starting with 1. We're going to go to 65. So now we're at 65, which is the total torque of each. Alright, this head's all torqued down, put into specs to 65 pounds. We did it in 3 runs, 25 pounds, 45 pounds, 65 pounds. And that's on there. So like I did on the driver's side, the passenger side, I'm doing on the driver's side, and I'm checking all the bolt holes for the head bolt holes. And making sure that they're all cleaned out of any gunk that might be in them, making sure one of the new bolts goes in deeper than that. And when I come across one that it doesn't want to go in, I just take my tap that fits the threads and I just screw it in, not tight, just enough to clean it up, and then try the bolt again. Much better. Good. And that's how we clean out that, getting it ready to put the head on. I'm doing it to every single screw hole. First, make sure that I screw it in. Alright, nice. I'm using a new bolt to do it. Sure it goes in. It does. Very nice. And have about 8 more to do. Okay, I'm just going to clean off spots here. Make sure there's no gunk in between the gasket and the head and the block. Alright, so put this on, seat it, and press it in. It goes, there's a triangle at this end, and then there's an oblong circle at this end. So I just want to very carefully push them on so I don't damage that. If I can get this out of the way. And this has to get bolted to the head along with these ground wires right here. So I got to figure out a way to do that so that I can get this back in there. So what I'm going to do is probably seat the head and then see if I can reach in there and get that nut on. Get that and these kind of out of the way for right now. Let me get right on that real quick. Okay, so I have the new oil pressure sensor. And I get it screwed into there. And then I'm going to put its electrical cap back on it. Alright, that's on. Hold on. Thank you. Let's get one in here while I work out this issue. All right. So it's on there. Now I gotta figure out how to tighten it. It's not one thing, it's another. All right. To get this bracket on that holds the booster vacuum line, the brake booster vacuum line, and those two ground wires right there to the side of the driver's head, I had to go in from back here. I had to go in from back here with a 1/4-inch ratchet to get it connected up. What a pain in the buns that was. So we're on to the next thing, which is putting all the bolts in, getting them lubed up. I want to make sure nothing got broken while I was doing this, because that would like really suck. Yeah, I can see. Good. Alright, we're all good. It's all still lined up. So we'll get those in. So what I'm going to do now is just snug the bolts down. I am not going to tighten them. I'm just going to get them so that they're in the block, holding the head in place, and that's it. All right, you're snug down. So we're going to follow the same pattern. And it's right now at 25 foot-pounds. All right, now we're gonna do stage 2 to 45 foot-pounds. All right, so now we're up to 65 pounds. And 17. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna get these on. Oh, I need to get something. Assembly lube. Now on this side, I'm going to get the push rods and the rockers in. And of course, we're going to do assembly lube. Each one of these. And go like that on these. That. That there, because we're going to need it. And just like before, I'm starting at the back. I'm going to work my way forward. So let's get going. Assembly lube right there. So I'm only putting on these lightly. I'm not torquing them down or anything right now. I'm just getting them in place. Okay, so that's done. And I forgot to do the tips on these, so I'm going to do them right now. We are done. Thank you for watching video number 1 of the engine reassembly. That covered putting the heads back on, getting the push rods and the rockers back in place, getting the new head gaskets in, and we're going to be moving on to part 2 and going from there. I want to thank you again for watching the video and hope you have a great day. And if you haven't already clicked that like icon, please do so. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. It does help out the channel. And if you want to be notified of upcoming videos when they get posted up to YouTube, please click on that notification icon. Have a great day and thank you again.